Well, I mean, you click the title or the video, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, so really no need to waste time getting into this. But, we all know the news, what happened yesterday, and I apologize for not being active for a while. And honestly, I was conflicted to actually make this video because I didn't want it to seem like I was trying to capitalize on Ozzy's death or anything, or posted the day of so I could get views or whatever, or or I was hesitant because I thought maybe I'd say something that might unintentionally come off as disrespectful in the video or something. But I figured I had to make this because I and anybody else who really calls themselves a metalhead or a punk or just a music fan in any sense really owes it to Ozzy Osbourne. Because I mean, first off, Black Sabbath have always been one of my main inspirations. Tony Iommi was basically the reason I picked up a guitar. And just look at this channel name, Planet Sabbath. Come on, that's with a channel name like that, it's you can't not do a video like this. And yeah, it's really crazy to think just how much influence Sabbath had across the board, across all music genres, not even just heavy metal or rock music, but there's not really many contemporary artists that can say that they're not influenced by Black Sabbath whatsoever. Because indie kids love Black Sabbath, and because there's just something about, even if they're not into metal, there's just something about the raw heaviness that really attracts them, the musicality of it. Hip hop heads, I guess, if that's what you'd call them, hip hop fans, rappers, they've sampled Black Sabbath over the years. A Tribe Called Quest, Beastie Boys, even fucking Eminem has sampled Black Sabbath. And then on top of that, Ozzy's influence on his own, beyond just the music and just metal and the stuff that, Randy Rhoads and Jakey Lee and Zakk Wylde, those riffs and solos that those guys wrote, it's just, was really a larger than life persona, in probably the best sense. Because a lot of these rock star type people, they're larger than life, but they have a massive ego or whatever, or they're just not good people. But Ozzy was a good person. Yeah, he wasn't a saint, he did bad things, but he stayed humble until the very end, and that's what's really sets him apart. And he was like family to a lot of us. He helped a lot of us through difficult times with a lot of his songs. And his solo work, and Black Sabbath, of course, just inspired so many people to pick up a guitar, pick up a bass guitar, pick up some drumsticks, or even play keys or anything like that, or sing. Or so it's really anybody that calls himself a music fan kind of owes it to Ozzy at this point. And a music fan in just any capacity, doesn't matter the genre at this point, because Ozzy, he truly cared about what he was doing. And he transcended those sort of confines of pretty much music genres other than just rock and roll, I would suppose. But I would say him and Lemmy fucking Kilmister are the fucking kings of rock and roll. I don't give a shit about Elvis or Chuck Berry or any of those other guys. Maybe Lemmy and Ozzy didn't invent rock and roll, but I don't think it's about who invented it. It's more so about who embodied its spirit the most. And those guys really did it like no other. They played louder and faster than everyone else. Well, faster is not entirely true, but in spirit, pretty much. They played louder than everyone else. And even if there are bands that are way, way sonically heavier than Motorhead or Black Sabbath or Ozzy's solo work, in spirit is really what matters. It's really what counts. And it's why people still say in 2025 that Black Sabbath is the heaviest band of all time. And the breakdown to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is the heaviest breakdown ever, and nothing will ever top that. It's they're right in a lot of senses, because you have all these slam bands and deathcore bands trying to be heavy and out heavy the rest, but they're not heavy in spirit. They're just heavy technically. Sabbath was insanely heavy in spirit. And Yeah. Anyway, I kind of went a little off topic there, but man, there was just something just about Ozzy. It was so special. I mean, because beyond his stage antics and his persona as the Prince of Darkness and his music, even, he just had this, his real personality, the person who he really was just so infectious, so charming, so fucking hilarious. His wit was just seriously on point, and I think that's just I think it's just natural for someone from where he is, because and obviously a lot of British people have like this really sharp wit, but with Ozzy, it's like it was almost like no other. And yeah, so I just wanted to make this video to pay respects, and because he earned it. And it is a little sad that he unfortunately died so soon after doing his last show. I mean, because he deserved those years of retirement, man. He earned the right, he earned it like 10 times over to spend time with his family, with his newborn grandchild, and sit in his garden, watch the birds, and maybe throw one last album together, because he was talking about doing a follow-up to Patient Number 9. And I don't know if this means we'll see a posthumous Ozzy album. I mean, this is just probably wishful thinking. It's probably pretty unlikely, but I do know that he was working on recording stuff pretty much right after Patient Number 9 came out. He's like, oh, I'm already working on the next one. And so I don't know, and I think there may have been some vocal or instrumental tracks recorded, so if we see another Ozzy album, I mean, I would guess that would be the reason, but I wouldn't count on it either. And honestly, it's like, even if we don't get another album, I mean, obviously the man is dead, so it's like we can't really expect that, but that would have been nice. And it unfortunately sucks, and especially it sucks when corporate hacks like Gene Simmons or pieces of shit like Anthony Kiedis are still fucking around, but the whole point of this video is to not even mourn Ozzy, because the truth is us sitting around mourning and crying is not what he would have wanted. I mean, he would have wanted us to celebrate. He saw like people crying over his death. I mean, he'd probably say something like, oh, what, fucking dead, no big fucking deal, go blast Paranoid until your neighbors fucking hate you, or something. Like, that was my best Ozzy impression, by the way. Like, it would probably like say something like that. So I mean, really what you can do is just celebrate, not because he died, but the legacy he left behind and how he touched all of us. Because man, these last 55 years have been a fucking wild ride, man. And for me personally, I mean, again, Tony Iommi was basically the reason I picked up the guitar. I remember hearing, this is a classic story, but, I remember just fucking hearing Iron Man and War Pigs as a kid, and it's like, I was like, I want to do that. I want to play that. And I'm like, it sounds really easy. I could play that. And I picked those up in a matter of time, and there was some other inspiration, but I think Sabbath was definitely the main one for me. And they still continue to inspire me to this day. I go back to those classic albums, any era of Sabbath, whether it's Ozzy, Dio, or Tony Martin, or even fucking Born Again or Seventh Star. And I just find something new that I love almost every time. Like, I mean, I've been obsessed with Wheels of Confusion and, lately, and I will die on the hill that Volume 4 is the best Black Sabbath album, by the way. But man, Wheels of Confusion is such a fucking amazing song. Especially that last section, that like those last 2 minutes, which is technically the straightener, that bit. Fucking beautiful, man. I love that. It's every single time. Like those classic albums will never get old. I mean, I don't even think Sabbath ever really had a bad album. I mean, maybe Forbidden, but even that one was more so weak and less bad. But so yeah, so this week, it's the best thing you can do to honor Ozzy's memory is just fucking blast Sabbath, man. Blast Ozzy. Watch the fucking Osbournes or something. Watch his fucking interviews. Listen to his piss take on Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And seriously, if you haven't heard it, Yeah, go look up on YouTube Ozzy singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." It's fucking hilarious. He just fucking mumbles his way through it. It's great, you know. Um, but yeah, and so I apologize if this video just kind of came off as like incoherent rambling about Ozzy or Sabbath, but you know, I just kind of wanted to get this out there because I owe it. We all do. We all owe it to Ozzy and his legacy. And as for the rest of the Black Sabbath guys, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, you know, Bill Ward, even fucking Vinny Appice, Ronnie James Dio, rest in peace. Cozy Powell, rest in peace. Jeff Nichols, rest in peace. All those guys, thank you. Just thank you for everything.